Alright, so we've got Chuck from Deathwatch coming up next, and he is here to tell us a little bit about these humongous sounding doom merchants of his from way up in the north, up in Scotland, in Aberdeen. Is that right? Aberdeen?
Aberdeen, yeah, up in the northeast.
Yes, we met in Aberdeen a few years ago. I wasn't quite sure whether you'd moved on or not yet, but
no, still very much here.
Fair play. Cool. All right, so going right back to the beginning of Deathwatch.
Yeah.
When did you start, and how did you kind of get together?
Deathwatch, as I know Deathwatch, and I think it's everybody else knows Deathwatch, the 2008.
Okay.
I had done some instrumental demos in the past with a guy called Sean Bickerton back in my garden shed in Coventry in 2006.
Nice.
And then when I moved up here, I was working with a guy called Al Crow, and he became our bassist. And my friend Ryan, who used to play in a band called Emeritus up there, he came in on sticks, and it was really just a case of I had itchy fingers, and I needed to get playing again. I hadn't been doing live music for a couple of years, so I thought, well, screw it, may as well just bring the sort of the Crowbar and Neurosis influence in and see whether or not there was anyone else who fancied jamming it. And sure enough, I found those two, and that's really how the band sort of started. But then sort of like Crowbar, there have been constant lineup changes to the point where we've just got a new drummer. So this is third drummer. Still only on second basis though, which is
good going.
Surprisingly good going.
Yeah. We're on our fifth bassist in Widows at the moment, so
James.
Yeah. But this one's proven very useful. He's proven a good lad, so hopefully we'll get to hang on to him for a little while.
That'd be nice. What's the shortest length of time you've ever had a member for?
6 months. Have you got any recordings that you've been doing lately?
Well, we've just put out, a couple of months ago we put out our debut full length.
Yeah.
An album called Some Blindness Used to Protect Me from This Truth.
Okay.
It's a bit of a mouthful. That was March we started doing that.
Yeah.
And then that came out in June, sounds right.
Yeah, I'm sure I remembered you.
I sound ridiculously vague about it. But
I'm sure I remembered seeing some promo for the release of yours recently.
It was one of those things where it was sort of surreal. So, but trying to keep tabs on it was tricky at best. But yeah, that is that's the only bit of recording that we've done this year, and very proud of it. We are too.
Excellent.
But we're currently working on training our new drummer up.
Right.
And then once he's doing absolutely brilliant so far. So once we've got him into the groove and everything and caught up on the back cat, then we get to start writing some new stuff and get recording. So you never know, there may even be a new Deathwatch EP later on in the year.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to that, definitely. Now, we're going to move on to listen to a track in a minute. But first, before we get onto the first track, can you tell us what has been the most momentous achievement of Deathwatch so far?
To me, it is going to be a toss-up between opening for Conan and Bast.
Heavy.
And that was a ridiculous show. That was mental. It's going to be a toss-up between that, the album launch, the fact that Humble Records in Aberdeen wanted to put us out as their first album. And then I suppose the other momentous one, certainly for me, was finding out that Ben Falvey from Goat Horse still wears a Deathwatch badge on his bag.
Awesome.
While I was doing shots for Sammy. So yeah, but I think of the three of them, I'm probably going to go with the whole experience of the album, and certainly the album launch.
Yeah.
That was absolutely fantastic, just for the fact that it was, so many people have been badgering us for ages to get an album done, and then finally we had, it was all facilitated so brilliantly by Humble Records.
Yeah.
And the launch night was pretty drunk, so
slightly hazy.
Yeah, it's miraculous I didn't make as many mistakes as I could have.
Fair play. Well, I'm glad that went down a treat for you. All right, so we're going to listen to a track now. First one of 3 from yourselves.
Yep.
So, what's the first track you want to have on? It's Recumbent Victim, is that the one?
Victim.
Okay. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that before we crank it up?
Well, the song was it's one of these ones that gets erroneously credited to me from the writing front. It's actually one of the songs that our bassist Doug wrote. I contributed very, very little to the musical writing. It was pretty much lyrics and guitar solos for me. A great song for anybody who finds themselves feeling like a bit of a cynic when the grief is piled on.
Yeah.
That's a lyric reference right there. Tune low, play slow. Recumbent Victim.
Yep. Okay, cool. Recumbent Victim by Deathwatch. Let's crank that up now. Okay, welcome back. So we've got Chuck from Deathwatch from up in Aberdeen. Some long-time UMC members, and they're here today to tell us a little bit about themselves and what they've got coming up for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have anything cool coming up in the pipeline? Any gigs, any tours, any fun stuff that you want to tell us about?
We are off to Shetland. We're playing playing the Buffet Festival, heavy metal buffet, which is a podcast based up on Shetland.
In the Shetland Isles, right in the north.
Aye.
Wow.
So we get to we get the sort of the full rockstar package, you know, where we get to travel to a far and distant and exotic land off the west coast, which is going to be a great deal of fun. Apparently, it's about a 12-hour ferry journey.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Fortunately, we're not doing it by ourselves. We've got a couple of other bands from Aberdeen going up with us.
Oh, brilliant!
Including Folk. If you haven't heard Folk, check them out. Power violence and absolutely hilarious guys as well. And that is, we're playing on the 26th of August for that one.
Okay.
Then we have, now I can't remember the date of this, which is kind of a pity, but we're blessed with some really good promoters up in Aberdeen.
Right.
And one of them has managed to secure Chuck Mosley, formerly of Faith No More.
Yeah.
And he got in touch and wanted to get the Chuck Mosley gig. I'm thinking, yeah, that sounds. Who wouldn't want to play a show with Chuck Mosley?
Why the fuck not?
Yeah, exactly. Plus, we've got the same first name, which means it's going to be really easy for us to be on a first name basis.
Exactly.
Yeah, works for me. But yeah, that's what we have. That's what we have in the pipeline at the moment. There's the local Eruption Battle of the Bands as well.
Yeah.
That's September time. We're participating in that. And then there's what's that thing that we're doing? Something that we're doing in October. In Leeds, I think it is.
Yeah, sometime first weekend.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's like it's some all dayer.
Yeah.
With a bunch of, and you know, it's all underground. UMC all dayer, that was it. Yeah.
Oh, we got there in the end.
Yeah, stoked for that. I'm gutted that we missed last year's one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a shame, but this year bigger and better, so it was be good to have you down.
Absolutely, I've let everybody else work all the kinks out, so...
Alright, so who are your influences and kind of how would you describe your sound?
Oh, well, influences, the most obvious ones that people hear and have mentioned, Crowbar, no two ways about it, Neurosis, massive influence there.
Awesome.
Cult of Luna are a big one for me.
Yeah. Especially
The Beyond from Cult of Luna. That's a fucking monster of an album. It's one of these things where every incarnation of Deathwatch has been made up of people who have been brought up on a really heavy diet of death metal. But I can't play that fast anymore. So the influences are pretty far ranging. I mean, Doug, our bassist, he is, he goes from Pallbearer through Crowbar through to, he listens to a lot of black metal and a lot of sort of proper depressive black metal as well.
Yeah, bleak.
Plus, we're all huge Cannibal Corpse and Suffocation fans. to the point that there was one show when we still had Neil as second guitarist, where I am pretty sure all of us were wearing Suffocation t-shirts on stage.
Uniform.
You know, so naturally, I'm giving it the Frank Mullen hand wave and all that. But our sound, best described as sludge, I think, is we've had things like post sludge or nouveau sludge or whatever. You know, it's sludge. You know, we tune low, we play slow-ish. You have that sort of familiarity with the sludge sound. If you listen to I Hate God or Crowbar or Acid Bath or anything like that, you'll definitely hear that influence in there. But with the fact that we have quite a far-reaching set of influences, I'm a huge fan of traditional Mongolian music, and I try to work that sort of feel into some of the stuff that I write.
Yeah. That's an interesting angle that not a lot of many bands can cite.
Yeah, I mean, if I could do that whole sort of like whistling throat singing as well, then damn right I would do that. But I can't, so I don't. I just yell and scream a lot. But yeah, hopefully our sound, I think, can be described as something that is familiar enough for you to be able to get into, but different enough that it manages to stand out.
Yeah, fair dues. Right, so as we said before, you guys have been going for quite a while. You've been members of the UMC for quite some time now as well.
Yeah.
How did you come to join up?
Well, it was down to our glorious founder, Daniel Forrest.
Dear leader.
What a dreamboat. and
he is.
And naturally, he has got the best speaking voice.
He does.
It's that wonderful, it's like a rich sort of sweet tea and gravy sort of. Hell, I'm straight as an arrow. I wouldn't mind them sort of whispering sweet nothings to me, right? Anyway, right, I'm digressing. A little bit hot under the collar. Daniel got in touch with me. He'd come across Deathwatch. I know not how. But he's a resourceful, wily fox, and he got in touch, and he was, I think he was just at the point where he was ready to launch the UMC, and he gave me the rundown of what it was, and he told me, I think he managed to he got a couple of other bands involved by that point as well. I think yourselves were one of the sort of UMC originals.
Yeah, pretty much.
Broken by the Burden. I'm sure they were one of the first as well.
Yeah, they were the one. They were the ones that Daniel first discussed it with, I believe.
Right. So yeah, he'd mentioned you guys and Broken and a couple of others, and I just thought that the idea of a networking tool and something where we can find other bands with a similar sort of ethos, and I mean his idea for doing the compilations and stuff was inspired as well, because I've been able to discover some really, really good bands through that. I mean, through the UMC I've discovered lots of Hogslayer.
Yeah.
Are an absolute, and it's a shame I can't say that we're affiliated with them anymore, because they're wicked. Hogslayer, Boss Keloid.
Yeah.
And Widows as well. I was listening to Green Tsunami on the bus earlier on.
Oh, excellent.
I know that you guys have written other songs, but
that is the one that we've pushed the most, definitely.
Yeah, there's just something about that little motto within Weed We Trust. Indeed we do. So yeah, that was the sort of foundation of how we got into it. Daniel got in touch, and he was really supportive about about the band. Of course, he's a huge Crowbar fan, so
Yeah.
So I think that manages to illustrate my point of us having a familiarity that allows you to get into us, and then you find out more about the sound and everything. But he dug us, and I thought, yeah, it seems like a groovy cat. So that's how we got on board.
Wicked. All right. Well, we're going to play another track now. So this is the second of the 3 tracks. And this one's called Depth of Your Failure.
Depth of Your Failure.
Give us a bit of a lowdown on this before we spin it.
Lowdown on this one, we usually tune low and play slow, but this one we tune low and we don't play slow. This is our sort of homage to sort of, it's got that sort of slight sort of cross vibe, and definitely sort of Burn Your World or something like that from Crowbar. But it's fast, angry, pissed off.
Cool. All right, so Depth of Your Failure. Let's go.
I dip through your body and mind. Fill you with fear and doubt. You let me in, and you will never get me out. I point the finger, I make you realize the depth of your worst failure. You wanted that, you could have run. If you're still breathing, I'm not done. I am a nightmare that claws inside. I am the beast within who can perceive more than your mortal eyes. Don't take me lightly. Don't try to shift the blame. You're just as fucked as the rest of us. I can't see, I can't breathe. There's no escaping this heart disease. Save me. There's no escaping this. Don't take me lightly. Don't dare shift the blame. You're just as fucked as me.
Right, so welcome back. We've got Chuck with Deathwatch still with us, and we're going to ask him a few more questions before we wind things up and play you a final track from them. So, what are your aims for Deathwatch? Are you trying to keep it underground, or you're going for something more specific, a certain path? Have you got certain goals you want to achieve, or are you just kind of in it for the ride?
In it for the ride, really.
Yeah.
I mean, my intention from day one was to play the music that I wanted to play.
Yeah.
So that way I'm actually able to hear the music that I want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
And that's, it's one of these things where people can get sort of a bit derisive about people who have, I don't know, sort of higher monetary gain in mind. But to be honest, if you've got it, use it. I'm never gonna slag off someone for finding a way to make money from their music or anything like that. But, you know, the industry's dead in certain ways. Bands certainly the more extreme, even though I suppose we really are kind of like on the more accessible end of the extreme spectrum.
Yeah.
We are niche. We're not the sort of band that you're ever going to hear on Radio 1. If we did, I would probably write a letter of complaint saying, what the hell are we doing on here? But I'm not in it for anything other than being able to enjoy it and meet people who enjoy this sort of music. Because music's my first love, and without that, it'd be a pretty, what was it Nietzsche said? Without music, life would be a mistake.
Yeah, 100%.
And that, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, the fact that I've been playing guitar since I was 11 years old. Before that, I come from a really musical family, and if I'm able to keep getting up onto a stage, I don't care if it's 5 people, 500, I enjoy playing music. And if I can make the sort of music that I want to make with friends who are into the same sort of thing and who I can enjoy just, hanging out and having a smoke with, well, I see absolutely no reason to hope for, or wish for anything better. I mean, if something else was to come along and all of a sudden people thought, yeah, actually, what the world really needs right now is a big, bald, bearded dude covered in tattoos and yelling on sort of mainstream TV. I'm like, yeah, fine, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah, if it comes, it comes.
Yeah, I'm not going to. We haven't changed anything unnaturally.
Yeah, fair play.
That's it develops and it changes. And if you were to ask me about some of the songs on the album that we wrote closer to recording it, yeah, we wouldn't have written them 3 or 4 years ago. But I'm very much a product of the musicians that I work with. And it is a cohesion. So all I want is to keep making Deathwatch, keep making sludge, and if people discover it and enjoy it, so much the better. And I'll see you at the next gig.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so you must have plenty of shows under your belt now after being after playing for such a long time. And as a result, you must have had some embarrassing moments or some stories to tell. What's like the most embarrassing moment you've had on stage? Or like, not necessarily you, but kind of as a band?
There have been a couple. The first time we ever tried playing the song Nihilist live, that was a fun one. That was with the first lineup, and we were playing at a venue in Aberdeen called Tunnels. And myself and Al, the bassist, we used to work together, and we went down straight after work. We finished work at 5:30, so we get to the venue about 5:45, and we were supposed to be on the bill quite early. Well, promoter comes to us, and through no fault of their own, I don't know, can't remember. I think that you'll understand why in a minute. I can't remember the full details of why, but we ended up being moved to a 10 o'clock slot. So naturally, Alistair and I decided, well, let's go to the bar, and so we started drinking, and we got to 6 o'clock, and then we carried on drinking. We got to 7, then 8, then 9. By the time we got on stage, we were well past our best. And see, trying to play Nihilist, that was a nightmare. But the most embarrassing part of that is that we had this. We were playing the song "Man" on that show, and I remember this. Whenever we used to practice it, we had two different ways of doing it. We had standard speed, and then we had what we called Big Evil, where we played it at half the speed.
Right.
Well, start playing it, and our drummer does the count, and we start playing, and I realise about 2 or 3 minutes in, I'm like, wait, we're playing this at different speeds. And I did that most horrendous faux pas of, I just sort of stopped playing. I'm like, wait, stop. And I pull Arthur over. I'm like, what speed are you doing? He says, I'm doing Big Evil. I'm like, right, okay then. I was doing regular. So I'm like, I go back to the mic, and in hindsight, I'm like, I must have looked such an absolute twat. But I'm like, okay, we're going to carry on now because I think we know what we're doing. Alice has started playing regular speed, and I started playing Big Evil, so we fucked that entire song.
Oh dear.
That was an awkward couple of minutes. But it's one of these delightful things in the Aberdeen gig scene. You do get some hilarious moments, especially anytime that Teabags is in the crowd. He's the guitarist and singer from Boke.
Right.
He has a tendency of he's the greatest heckler who's ever lived. Forget Statler and Waldorf. Teabags heckles, and he has managed to break me down partway through playing a song by just yelling out emo. At the riff we were doing, start playing this riff, and you just get this emo, and you can find it on our YouTube channel. There's a show that we played at Krakatoa last November. And he does that, and I end up having to stop playing so I can just take a breather and laugh.
He's an expert.
What a world.
All right, so what are your plans for the next year? Like, have you, or either for the rest of this year, or if you've got further plans for the next year?
For the rest of this year, our first priority is getting Josh settled and comfortable, and getting the chemistry back between members.
Yeah.
So that our tightness manages to sort of get back to what it was. But like I say, he's had a really, really promising start. So I see no reason why that should take too long at all.
Okay.
Keep writing. Hopefully get a bit further south some point next year.
Yeah.
Because so far the furthest south that we've played is Worcester.
Right.
And I would really like to be able to get us to play. I'd like to play shows in Wales. I would like to get down to sort of Bristol, London.
Yeah. There's some great places in all those three towns.
Yeah, exactly. I would like. This is just a little personal one for me. I would like to actually be able to get Deathwatch down to Coventry. Because that's where I'm from. Lived here for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
And my friends down there, they know about us and they've heard us and all that jazz. Thank goodness for the internet, because without that, But it would be really good for me to be able to actually get Deathwatch down to that neck of the woods, and to be able to just get my buds and family from back home to actually come and hang out with us, and to be able to play a show for them.
Yeah, man. Play home field and see some familiar faces.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are friends from down there that I haven't seen for absolutely ages now, and it'd be good to be able to to be able to reconnect but also to be able to say, well, look, I have been busy in Scotland. This is what I've been doing. I haven't just been neglecting you.
Yeah, totally. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up now, but we're going to play you out with the final track from Deathwatch, which is Nihilus. Is that right?
Yep.
That's how I'm saying that right, yeah? Nihilus, and yeah, that's going to be the final one from Deathwatch. Check them out on our UMC Ordea compilation, available at the undergroundmusiccoalition.bandcamp.com, and that's a free download. And if you buy a ticket for the Ordea, you also get that as a free download as well. So
hooray for free stuff!
Oh yeah, hooray for free stuff. So this is Nihilus.
Underground Music Coalition.